Okay. So 81, I don't think it's a very difficult question. Okay. Something very easy. There are three things: rectangle and circle and a triangle. Rectangle and circle will have some common points. Circle and triangle will have some common points. Rectangle and triangle will have some common points. But what is the maximum number of points common to all three put together? Okay. I'm sure if you take a rectangle and circle, you can get 8 common points. You can easily adjust where on each side you'll get 2 points of intersection. Okay, so if you take rectangle and what is it? Circle, you can have 8 maximum. If you take rectangle and triangle, maximum 6 only should be possible. Am I right? Because any line can intersect 2 more lines only in the rectangle. No line can intersect 3 of these lines. Okay, so one side can intersect here and one side can intersect here, and other side can intersect these two or any other two. Not I think however you rotate, you cannot increase the number. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Yes. So that will be 6. Triangle intersection rectangle will be maximum 6. If I take circle and triangle, of course, circle can intersect again every 2 sides, and there will be 6 of them. Like a line and a circle can maximum intersect at 2. So we'll have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. So triangle intersect circle also maximum will be 6. But if you take all 3, maximum it can be 6, it cannot be 8 because it will be minimum of these 2. And is that 6 possible? Yes, I'm sure very carefully we can adjust where out of these 8, a triangle is passing through 6 of them. I think it is quite possible from this figure. Okay, you take this, draw one line through these 2, one line through these 2, and out of these 4, any 2 other line can, I'm sure it can pass. Okay, it is quite possible that triangle, circle, rectangle all can have 6. More than 6 is not possible because even these 2 itself doesn't have that. So it's just a careful adjustment of figure. If you take a random figure, it may not come. If you draw a circle and then this, and then randomly if you draw a rectangle, you may think there's no point common to all 3 at all. Okay, if you adjust somewhere, you'll get 1 or 2 points. But what is the maximum number? Maximum possible 6, and we have to try to get a figure where 6 are possible, which I showed here. Is it all right, 81?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, soon in revision, most probably one of our first topic usually we do is inequalities. Okay, AMGM inequality, AMGM HM inequality, and 1 or 2 other questions called inequality or weighted mean and all. It doesn't have to be taught separately because we are taught in the beginning somewhere, and we are using AMGM inequality in few places here and there in trigonometry and other places, Jensen inequality and all. But what happens, inequality you don't find in the syllabus of mains or advanced, but there are questions in mains. There are very few questions, hardly 5-6 questions of all these years. But in other questions we'll be using it. I'm sure even in physics and chemistry I can show you some questions where we use AMGM inequality. Advanced definitely mainly based on inequalities also they're giving questions, even that is not there in the syllabus exclusively. Okay, it may not be every year, every alternative year. So this is also not, they're not very complicated. We can do it easily only. So coming to 82, I can use AMGM inequality or making perfect square somewhere. For example, this I can directly write x power 4 plus 4y power 4 plus 16 z power 4 plus 64 by 4 is greater than equal to fourth root of product of all these things, x power 4 into y power 4 into 16 z power 4 64. For four things, arithmetic mean is sum of them. But sorry, okay. For four things, the arithmetic mean is a plus b plus c plus d by 4. The geometric mean is fourth root of a into b into c into d. And arithmetic mean is greater than equal to geometric mean. But that is only true for positive quantities. Is x power 4 positive?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It may be 0, but otherwise it's okay. This also positive, this also positive, this is positive. That's why I'm able to apply. But one we have to be a little bit careful with something else. X power 4 plus y power 4 plus 16 z power 4 plus 64 by 4 is when I simplify this, I should not write x here. I should write mod x. Okay, mod x into y into 4z into 8. Or I can put mod separately for each one. Anything is okay, but the total. So when you send this 4, that side, look at x power 4 plus 4 y power 4 plus 16 z power 4 plus 64 is greater than equal to 8 fours are 32 and 32 fours are 128 mod xyz. I hope I'm right. They give 32 xyz. I should be getting 32 today, right? Something wrong. Or maybe it is not working well. Just a minute. This is fourth root. Sorry, there's a mistake. This is not, I tried to find square root, but it is fourth root. Fourth root of 16 is 2. Fourth root of 64 is 4. 4 2s are 8, 8 4s are 32. Yes. I got 32 mod xyz. Can I say further that is greater than equal to 32 xyz? Basically, can I say mod x is greater than equal to x? Is it a correct statement?
No, sir.
Mod x is not
X
greater than
power
equal
4
to
is past.
No, that's all. Don't worry. Mod x greater than equal to x. Is it a correct statement?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Because when x is positive, both are equal. When x is negative, this is positive, this is negative. Positive is anyway greater than negative. In the same way, mod of some expression is greater than equal to the expression without mod. I just remove the mod from it. Okay. So what happens is, many times I told you this, when you have one equation but more than one unknown, it must be having infinite answers. Because if you keep changing x, you can also get different for y. But sometimes you'll get only unique or a few answers. That is an extreme case. Instead of 32 xyz, if they would have given some 64 xyz or some other thing, there will be infinite solutions. Okay. But if you want to get the extreme value, usually it will happen only for few cases. Okay. Difficult to visualize, but what I want to say is, if I have some z equal to a function of xy, for example, when I draw the graph of this in three-dimensional space, it is some kind of surface. It will have one lowest value, which will happen for particular x value, particular y value. If I ask if it is equal to that number, I'll have a unique x and y. But if I ask anything more than that, when you cut that the surface with a plane, there will be infinite solutions. There will be many pairs of x and y which give that. Okay, but if it is something more, I cannot even ask you to visualize. For example, let's say I have some L equal to f of x comma y comma z. This is a function of three variables. So I have to take x, y, z, and I have to take fourth coordinate system, L. Sorry, we can only visualize up to 3D. Okay, unfortunately or fortunately, we cannot visualize 4-dimension. If somebody can visualize 4-dimension, you can take x, y, z axis and draw this, and it is some kind of surface in 4-dimension, I guess. Again, the minimum value will happen for particular x, y, z. And if you take anything above that, I'm sure it is some kind of, there will be infinite set of points. My point is, one equation, you have more than one unknown, usually you'll have infinite solutions unless it is some extreme case. Here it is extreme case. So this is greater than or equal to this. Equality is possible in AMGM inequality. If you want this to be equal to this, these two should be equal, these two should be equal. For these two to be equal, all quantities should be equal. Whenever in AMGM inequality, arithmetic mean equal to geometric mean if you want, all quantities involved should be equal. And mod x, if you want equal to x, x should be positive. So from here to here, equality will happen. For this case, all equal from here to here. So I can say x power 4 plus 4y power 4 plus 16 z power 4 plus 64 equal to 32 xyz implies x power 4 equal to 4y power 4 equal to 16 z power 4 equal to 64 and xyz greater than equal to 0. From here to here, equality to happen. Okay. For example, here I can write mod x equal to x implies double implies x is greater than equal to 0. Okay, from this, what will I get? I'll get x is equal to plus or minus 2. Am I right? 2 power 4 is 64. No, sorry, 4. 16, 4, sorry. X equal to plus or minus 4. Why? After dividing with 4, it is 16 and 2 power 4, so plus or minus 2. Something wrong. X square is 8, so this is 2 root plus or minus 2 root 2. This is plus or minus 2. This is z equal to plus or minus root 2. But I should make sure that xyz is positive. So if I want either all are positive or 2 are positive. Two negative, 1 positive. So I'm sure I'll get 4 cases. Okay, plus plus plus, minus minus plus, minus plus minus, plus minus minus. Okay, these 4. That is, you can take plus 2 root 2 plus 2 plus root 2 and similar. Okay, so we got 4 cases. What is the question anyway? The number of different possible values of sum of x plus y plus z. I'm sure that is also 4. The cases are 4. But if you want to know what is the corresponding x plus y plus z, one time it is 2 root 2 plus 2 plus root 2. Another time minus 2 root 2 minus 2 plus root 2. Another time minus 2 root 2 plus 2 minus root 2. Another time 2 root 2 minus root 2. I don't think any two are equal here because this is 2 plus 3 root 2. This is minus 2 minus root 2. This is 2 minus 3 root 2. And this is minus 2 plus root 2. No two are equal. So these are the 4 different values possible for x plus y plus z. This is one method. Anybody any doubt about this method?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Another method is making perfect square. The question was x power 4 plus 4y power 4 plus 16 z power 4 plus 64 equal to 32 xyz. I want to bring this one this side and write it as sum of many squares, and that will be always greater than equal to 0, and equal to 0 is possible for a particular case. How to prove that? I'm going to take x power 4 plus 4y power 4. I'm going to subtract one 2ab term, which is 2 into x square into 2y square. Similarly, I'm going to take these two. That is 16 z power 4 plus 64 minus 2 into what is the square root of this? 4 z square into 8. Because I subtracted, I should add 4x square y square and add 64 z square, and this 32 xyz I should bring to LHS. Now these three are perfect square. I guess I'm going to erase this. Okay. So I added this, subtracted these 2 terms, added the same 2 terms, and brought this one. This together is x square minus 2y square. Plus this together is 4z square minus 8 whole square. Plus this is 4z square minus 8 whole square. Plus this is 2xy plus minus 8z. 8 2s are 16 2s are everything is fine. Equal to whole square equal to 0. Something whole square plus something whole square plus something whole square is greater than or equal to 0. Equal to 0 is possible only when all are 0. So we'll get x square equal to 2y square, 4z square equal to 8, and 2xy equal to 8z. From this, I'll get z equal to plus or minus root 2. And that z, when I keep here, I'll get xy is equal to, when I put a root 2, 4 root 2. That is when z is root 2. And xy equal to minus 4 root 2. That is when z is minus root 2. You know x, and I also know x is equal to plus or minus 2 root y. I'm sure you can substitute that back here and find the corresponding x first and then y. Plus or minus 2 root 2, plus or minus root 2 y. Sorry. Substitute x as plus or minus root 2 y plus root 2 y will give something. Okay. We are going to get two pairs here and we are going to get 2. Okay, I'm not showing further part, but I'm sure you can make out by solving x square equal to 2y square and xy equal to 4 root 2, we'll get two sets of answers. Because the product is positive here, both can be positive, both can be negative. Here product is negative, so x can be positive, y can be negative, or x can be negative, y can be positive. Okay, so we'll got two more cases here, two more. Total we'll get again 4 cases. Okay, so method 2 is basically making sum of 3 perfect squares equal to 0. Method 1 is AMG inequality. Anybody has any doubt in any part?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. For some of you, those who are trying on your own, this KVPY questions, if you are able to do quite a few questions on your own, it's not necessary to attend this class because you have to sit for 40 minutes. Maybe most of them you've done in the same way that I've done. You have only one or two doubts, you can later on see the recording. Or you want to see some questions, I may tell different method, just you can quickly go through the video. Okay. So it is not compulsory to attend the whole class if you could get most of them on your own.
Sir,
Yes, please.
in
Yes,
the
Santosh.
method one, why did we equate x power?
Why did we equate from here to here? Is that your doubt?
No,
Okay,
sir,
the
the
second
next
part,
one.
xyz greater than equal to 0. Why did I write that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The thing is, what happened is, let us say I proved a greater than equal to b greater than equal to c. I proved this. If somebody says, when will a equal to c will happen? What will you say? A should be equal to b and b should be equal to c. Then only it will happen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If a is greater than b and b equal to c, then a also will be greater than c, never equal. So if you want a and c should be equal, equality
Yes,
should
sir.
be here or here, both. In the same way, this is greater than this is greater than this. But our question is this equal to this. For that to happen, these two should be equal and these two should be equal. For these two to be equal, according to AMG inequality, equality will happen when all quantities are equal, that is this. For these two to be equal, this should be greater than equal to 0 because mod x equal to x is possible only when x is greater than equal to 0. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Instead of this step, I can write mod xyz should be equal to xyz. I would have written that statement. And from that, I can come to this conclusion. Okay, I'm going to erase this whole thing. Anybody needs more time? I can share the screen. Okay. I remember reading this question. Okay, so let me try to write. Almost same question. I think same question itself as it is asked. As far as I remember, confidently it is a JEE Advanced. If not in ISI or there is one next one exam is there, one of them. But I think it is given in JEE Advanced exam only. Also there in KVP. I think if I read the question properly, there is a circle. Draw one tangent here. Take any other point here, draw tangent there, extend this, and through this point, draw a line parallel. What is the locus of this point? Let toe is a circle with diameter as AB and center O. L be the tangent to toe at B. So this is B and this is L. For each point M on toe different from A. Consider a tangent T at M and let it intersect L at P. Draw a line parallel to AB through P intersecting OM at Q. What is the locus of that Q? Okay. The question is, this is a circle. AB is a diameter. At B, you draw tangent. Take any point on the circle as M except A. Anywhere else you take M. You can take anywhere here. Okay. For example, I can take M here also. Draw tangent at M. Okay. And extend OM. And now where the tangent is meeting, through that you draw one horizontal line. OM and that horizontal line meet at a point that is Q. And the name says this is M and this is P and that is Q. What is the locus they're asking? Of course, here it is inside, here it is outside, depending on where is M. Okay. I can, the standard locus method, I can try to do some work. Okay. But I have to start with this as X1, Y1 and do something maybe. But I want to do just directly, very easily, I want to tell what is the locus of Q. Draw this. We all know that these two are congruent triangles because from an excellent point, lengths of tangents are equal and all that. I basically want to show QO length is same as QP length. For that, I have to prove actually this total angle equal to this total angle. Okay, so let me see how to prove that. So I'm going to take this as theta. So this is also theta. This is 90 minus theta from this right angle. Okay, so this theta are equal. This is 90, so this small angle is 90 minus theta. But this total is 90, so this should be theta. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If this theta and this theta are equal, QPO is an isosceles triangle. That means QO is equal to QP. So from a point, from Q distance to a point is same as distance to a line. So the locus is a parabola with this as a focus, this as a directrix. Okay, so locus of Q is a parabola with O as focus and L as directrix. Because this is distance to focus, this is distance to directrix. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we did not. So we don't have to take any coordinate geometry. I did not use coordinate geometry. I was using pure geometry basically. They did not even ask any equation and all that. They just said, what is it? Arc of a circle, parabola, arc of ellipse, branch of hyperbola. It is parabola. We'll also discuss little a coordinate geometry method, maybe little lengthy, but just to have some idea. But this was easier. I think the JEE Advanced also given just 2-3 years back, not very long. before KVP, and then KVP they repeated. If this is 2018, I think it might have given in 2017 or something. After discussing few KVPY papers, I also want to discuss JEE advanced papers, at least 2020, 19, few papers like this. Okay, so just figure only this. Okay. So I'm going to erase this. Let's try the coordinates. So we may be up to 85. We're not able to discuss today. So then tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll take more time because Thursday, so I can take up to 4:30 also. Tomorrow. Maths doubts only anyway. So if this meeting ends, we are not going to continue. Okay, if this meeting ends abruptly, you can just log out, and tomorrow we'll see. It may be a little difficult to start from this point, but let us see. I'll take this as 0, 0. This length is a. This point is a, 0. This line is x equal to a. This point I want to take x1, y1. This horizontally this one. So this point is 0, y1 because it is not 0, y1, a, y1. Right? Okay. Now what is that I have to find? For this triangle, I have to find this altitude equation and I have to show it is tangent basically. Okay. So I have to find this line equation. How will you find? I know slope of this. From that, I know slope of this. I know that point. I find the line and apply perpendicular equal to radius. This is 0, 0. I will take. Yeah. What is this line slope? Y1 by x1. What is this line slope? Minus x1 by y1. I know point and slope. So if I try to find this line, MP line equation, it is y minus y1 equal to minus x1 by y1 into x minus a, which is xx1 plus yy1 equal to ax1 plus y1 square. Okay, this is this line, and that line should be tangent to circle. So for a line to be tangent to circle from the center perpendicular equal to radius, from origin the distance is mod ax1 plus y1 square by root over x1 square plus y1 square equal to radius a. Constant mod c by root a square. And I bring this side and square it. This will come a square x square plus y power 4 plus 2ax y cube. Here I'll get a square x square plus a square y square. A square x square will cancel. There is also y square that comes common. I can cancel. I'll get y square plus 2a xy equal to a square. This is also not y cube square. It's y square only. So 2ax. That's it. We got a parabola. Let us see where is the vertex and all. It is a square minus 2ax. If I take minus 2a common, it is x minus a by 2. Okay. So what is the vertex of this parabola? Vertex a by 2 comma 0. What is the focus? A by 2 and 4a value is minus 2a. So a value is minus a by 2, which will be 0 comma 0. And if somebody wants a directrix, okay, parabola is sufficient for me for the answer. I just want to know what is the focus and directrix. So if you want directrix, x minus h plus that a by 2, which is minus a by 2. So you'll get x minus a equal to 0, which is x equal to a. Sorry, not visible. So directrix is coming x minus a equal to 0. X minus a by 2 minus a by 2. So same, we got x equal to a as the directrix, origin as a focus. So this is a coordinate geometry way. I'm sure this is not the only way by coordinate geometry. Somebody can start with the tangent first and somehow find that point. It's quite possible. You can write in terms of theta and x cos theta plus y sin theta equal to a you can take. And then really find that point. And then, you know, this line equation, solve those two. This point will come in terms of theta and you can try to eliminate theta. Okay. So I'm sure I can do that. Is it okay, this method?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to go to next question. I have 5 minutes. Yeah, it's not very difficult. Anyway, just for recording or just to have an idea, I want to discuss, try that other method with this theta. Then we'll go to prime is that, we'll go to next one. This one, okay, forget about all this figure now. I want to take this whole thing as theta. Then I know the general point here is a cos theta comma a sin theta on the circle. And the tangent equation there is x cos theta plus y sin theta equal to a. At that time, this line equation will be, because tan theta is in slope, y equal to x tan theta is this line. That can be written as x sin theta or x by, we'll see depending on the other line what comes. This line, when you solve with x equal to a, this point will come a comma, when you put x equal to a into 1 minus cos theta by sin theta, a into 1 minus cos theta by sin theta. It's like same y coordinate. So even this point Q will have y coordinate as a into 1 minus cos theta by sin theta. How to find x coordinate? This line equation is y equal to x tan theta. So when you substitute y coordinate here and try to find x coordinate, sin by cos, cos will come up, sin will come down. I'll be getting a into 1 minus cos theta into cos theta by sin square theta. When I simplify this, I can write sin square as 1 minus cos square and cancel 1 minus cos. I'll get a cos theta by 1 plus cos theta. Here a into 1 minus cos theta by sin theta. Okay, how to eliminate theta from this? Basically, I can find cos theta from here and put it here. Okay, so let us call this as x and this as y. What is y square? A square into 1 plus cos square theta minus, let me do something. I can get 1 minus cos theta whole square by sin square theta. 1 minus cos theta whole square. The sin square I can write 1 minus cos theta into 1 plus cos theta. 1 minus cos theta will cancel. It will become 1 minus cos theta by 1 plus cos theta. I think now this you can try to convert in this form. How is that? I can write this numerator. I want to write it as a cos theta and a number. So I can write 2 minus, no. I want cos theta or number, already it's there. No, I want 1 plus cos theta or number. So I can add cos theta, subtract cos theta. That is better. Yeah. So 1 minus 2 cos theta by 1 plus cos theta. I can adjust this like this. Now cos theta by 1 plus cos theta is directly x by a. So you can put x by a here. So we've got y square equal to a square into 1 minus 2 times x by a. You can take a inside or minus 2 by a outside. You will get minus a by 2 or minus 2a into x minus a by 2. The same parabola that we got earlier. Okay. The point I'm showing here is depending on one way, the finding locus may be easy. Another way, you have to get a specific idea of how to eliminate theta. Okay. Of course, I can write this in terms of tan theta by 2 also. What is 1 minus cos theta by sin theta is tan theta by 2, right?
Yes, sir. Tan theta.
Tan theta by 2. Then you can try to write this in terms of tan theta by 2 also, if somebody wants. Or you can square it and write 1 minus. But anyway, eliminating theta way to get some idea. Okay. So that's it. We'll start 84. If time stops, then we'll just stop. I think tomorrow we should be able to complete 2018 paper fully because we'll have 1 hour. And 2017, I already sent one question paper that will start afterwards, whenever next day. Okay, so 84, the question is, I think, sine of x plus x square is equal to sine x plus sine x square. You can Apply sin C plus sin D transformations here. And here sin theta, you can write 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. Almost same. Actually, if you bring this one side, it is like sin A plus sin B plus sin C equal to 0, where A plus B plus C is 0. Why? If you bring this one that side,